Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope everything's alright with you and you're enjoying the summer and taking care of each other. In this video we're gonna talk about diet, and I'm gonna reveal something for you that I did for, I think it's a month ago now. I did blood work because I thought it was time to do it, because for the last 2 years now I've been eating primarily fruits in my diet. So you can say that I'm about 80% raw foodist, we can say, because I've been eating some salads as well, and but primarily I try to keep it in a raw state, because to be honest, that's through my own experience, I come to the conclusion that's what makes me feel the absolute best, besides the times when you detox. But when you get over that hurdle, for sure it's the best way, because I mean the food in itself is most lively, it has the most nutrients intact, and it hasn't been creating any toxic chemicals because in the heating process that when we cook food. So this video I'm going to go through the blood work. I'm going to take help from my mentor Josh X. He has a lot more experience than me, he has a lot more knowledge about diet and nutrition and everything regarding this, so I thought it was a good time to bring him on. It's from one of the coaching calls we've been having. I'm gonna go through the primarily the most important ones, like you can say. Then there were some few in the later that I'm gonna talk about myself, because we didn't go through them. We also going through a little bit about diet, a little bit that I've been experiencing some things recently also, and he's gonna explain what's happening and things like this. So it was a good conversation, so I think you're really gonna like it. So let's get into the video. Like that, you can see it now?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, but this is in Swedish now, but maybe I can, let's see. Okay, so here's so those are the, let's see, this is blood status. So I had some red spot here. This is B erythrocyte.
So this is red blood cells, yeah?
Yeah, hemoglobin.
That's the width or the size of the blood cells. So this a bit larger.
Yeah, this one is a little bit above. It's 27 to 33. That's so you can see here, it got to here. So this one was one of the ones that got a little too high.
So what was your iron source like, and your B12?
My iron was here's iron, so that's pretty good. Everything is green here.
Ferritin's between 20 and 375, yeah. So you're lower, but obviously still in range. Is that right?
Yeah, and B12 was
there. Is S-cobalamin?
Is that B12?
Yeah, I mean it's cobalamin.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that was pretty good as well. But it's 258, so it's maybe not that high. Maybe it's a little bit on the.
It's not optimal. It could definitely be up in the range of like 750.
Okay.
So usually when you have lower B12, it obviously has an issue with red blood cell production.
Okay.
And what can happen is, just because there's a little bit of a less production in there, the mean cospocular volume is the size of them, so they just grow a little bit just to be able to do the job more efficiently.
Okay.
So that's all that's probably happened. They're just due to low B12, they're just growing a little bit so they can just be more efficient with what they have to do.
Okay.
I noticed there was another red.
Yeah, it was
testosterone. Is that higher? Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny because the testosterone was actually very high. It was like
mine was too.
Yeah, and I know you said it, and I got like, I think it was 73 here on. I think they said that usually men have like, I think it was like 8 to 30 or something like that. That was like average.
And I got 26 is like the maximum on the level there.
Yeah, exactly.
I got 4.
Yeah,
mine was between 12 and 27, or it might have been the same as yours. And mine was 42 here.
Okay.
Did they ask if you were taking any steroids as well?
No, they didn't. But they said that, especially here, they said that the people who have this result usually take steroids or like TRT or something like that. But why do you think that? Is that because of the fruit, or is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. If you look at studies prior to like now, the studies were kind of finished in 1990.
Yeah.
But vegetarians, vegans, and basically fruitarians, they always had higher levels of testosterone than others. You know, and you're told that like red meat is this thing that gives you great testosterone.
Yeah.
So, you know, your body's functioning well and it's creating high levels of testosterone. which means as long as you consume the right amount of calories, like necessary for muscle growth, you'll be able to grow really big.
Okay.
You'll be able to utilize, this testosterone within you to get to like optimal levels of strength and size quickly compared to others. Great.
Yeah, I think that my issue when when working out has always been to eat. I've always been eating a little too less, But when I started out, I know I always ate too little, so that's kind of like hindered me to grow. But I feel like now when I've been eating a lot more, it's so much more fun to work out, and you feel the strength much more, and then you grow a lot more as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really nice to know.
Okay.
That's another study for me to see.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I think what was the other one you said?
I think it was. This one was. But this maybe that's the same. I think this is a red blood cell as well. It's the mean corpuscular volume. It's like the volume of the red blood cells, how big they are. Mm-hmm. So do you think that's connected to the B12 as well?
Yeah.
But why do you think the B12 is so low? Because I still eat some eggs sometimes, and some
it's like people still have low B12 over their plant-based meat eaters or anything like that, So
okay,
you got to remember that the animals are fortified.
Yeah.
So the absorption rate from you to the animal, it's keeping it at a level, but a lot of people, even in the meat-based community, still have B12 deficiency.
Okay.
And if you know anybody with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease or any type of issue like that, a lot of them have it because they have low B12, and they don't know, but it's not Parkinson's; it's actually low B12. It's not dementia. They just don't have ample B12, so their mind's not functioning properly.
Okay, so it's very important with the B12 for the body to function.
You'll die without it, like really bad, a horrible death.
Oh, really? Okay.
First of all, your nerves will stop going, your spine will start to degrade, eat itself away. You'll lose like arm and leg movement, then you'll lose memory, you'll lose all your strength, you'll find it hard to breathe, you'll find it hard to go to the wee, for a poo, anything like that, and then you just die.
Wow. I have, I think I mentioned it in one of the calls we did. My grandmother, she's 97 now. She lives in a nursery home, and she had been eating I think she ate good at some point in her life, and then recently when she's been in the nursery home and at her own place, she has been eating pretty bad. But for me, it's kind of I still am so baffled and confused how she can still be alive with everything. And I don't know if maybe it's just luck, or I don't know, maybe not luck.
It just makes you realize how strong the body is,
Yeah.
And I think the will to live is what keeps people alive.
Yeah.
A lot of people who don't have that energy within them, it's just like a fire that's just being extinguished slowly over time. They're depressed, they don't want to live, it's just... But those that are exuberant, those that people that maybe have a sense of humor and have a bit more of a joyful sense, it's that desire to live, and it corrects a lot of things within the body. But she's kind of she has a little bit of dementia now. I think she's not very easy to talk to her. She forgets everything. So, but go and give her a B12 shot.
Yeah, maybe.
It might shift everything. Or if you're able to ask if you can get her blood tested for B12, just specifically.
Okay, you think that could actually help her if you...
I really have seen so much evidence that people have lost their mind because they haven't had B12.
Okay.
All their memory, the inability to find anything back, they're just gone. Okay. And then as soon as they, maybe 2-3 weeks later, starts going back.
Okay. Wow. To be honest, I was kind of that's one of the vitamins that I was a little bit almost nonchalant with, you can say. You say nonchalant?
No, but I know the phrase, it's just a bit like slapdash.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can slapdash with it. You're not really bothered and you're not focusing.
Yeah. So I had some, I think it was, those were the same. So that's that. I think this was one that was read as well. It was, it's a cholesterol particle, it says. The good cholesterol, like a building protein, it says, for HDL.
Yeah. So when you understand cholesterol properly, cholesterol is do you know what cholesterol does?
I think it kind of helps building the cells or something.
Every cell in the whole body.
Yeah, it's very important. I know.
Yeah. Nobody's ever died of high cholesterol, only low cholesterol. So high cholesterol is good.
Yeah, because that's why they put in the statins, like, right? Because they hinder it to produce.
Yeah, stop the liver producing cholesterol to heal and repair yourself, and then it's just a slip until the body breaks down. So I wouldn't give any concerns to this at all. All that you could say, if it was an anomaly, maybe that you were repairing something, you might have been a little bit poorly one day, you might have had an injury or something like that, and your body was producing just a little bit more cholesterol just to aid in that synthesis of new cells. Apart from that, that's great. There was something you said at the start. You had low.
This one. This was the blood sugar. So this one, HbA1c, that's a long term. That was good. This one was 0.24, so it should be 0.27. This one was C-peptide byproduct that what is it?
Is it a byproduct of the production of insulin or not?
Yeah, insulin in the what is it, the organ now again that produces insulin?
Pancreas.
Yeah, pancreas. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So they say this one is a little bit on the low end there. Do you have any idea why is that?
Well, usually when you have a diet like we do, low protein diet, a lot of people's insulin is produced to break down so many other things in the consumption of food. When it's easily assimilated, it doesn't need too much breaking down. It's just a lower level of insulin, less insulin spikes, and down within that. So what I would say is that your body doesn't need to produce as much insulin because the foods that you're giving it don't need so much.
Yeah.
Fruitarian or fruit-based diets, or you could say a high carbohydrate, low protein, low fat diet is the best for someone who's diabetic.
Yeah.
But if they have irregular insulin, you have to fix that first until they get onto this. So fats cause a lot of insulin. I'm presuming your diet is quite low in fat, yeah? And quite low in protein. Not very high in protein and not very high in fat. Yeah. So your pancreas is just relaxed. It's not having to work hard.
Yeah. Okay, that was actually, I was thinking exactly like you said, that if the fruits doesn't makes it produce an insulin, so I was thinking maybe it's because my body's kind of resting the production, maybe.
Yeah. So insulin's a storage hormone, isn't it? It's a stored hormone.
Yeah.
So when you eat a lot of fat, your body has to produce a lot, and what it does, it causes insulin sensitivity, and then the insulin literally shuttles fat to cells, to storage. Mm-hmm. And then you have this up and down spikes in blood sugar because of the fat. So once you remove fat, especially processed hydrogenated fat and all these types of things in the diet, the numbers really level themselves out.
Yeah.
But your results are in a world full of people's averages who are of a Western lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you sat yourself in with other predominantly fruit-based people, you'd see exactly the same.
Okay.
High HDL, high testosterone.
Yeah.
Possibly a little bit low on the red blood cell production because of the B12. And I mean, apart from that, everything's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very good actually. So it feels nice. And I'm glad I did it because I was a little nervous, I'm going to be honest, because you always are you never know what's going to end up there. But you mentioned it a few times that it's good. So to check it out. So I was actually 2 days ago I was experimenting with a little thing in the kitchen. So because during these holidays now in Sweden, we usually eat baked potatoes, boiled potatoes, and some what do you say, the fish in glass jars. Herring fish. Yeah. Okay. So we usually eat it during this holiday, and we have some eggs and some other stuff. So yesterday, I think it was 2 days ago, I bought 2 glass jars. So I ate some of this herring fish, and I bought some potato salad it was actually in a plastic bag, so it was processed commercial produce. And then I had some boiled eggs. And then the day after, I felt such I was hangover. I had this headache and so like dehydrated. It was insane. And I wasn't expect to be that bad, but I felt really bad the whole day actually. So
It's
I was
almost,
thinking, is it? Do you
if you
think?
did that for 2 days, you would have had the flu, 2, 3
Yeah.
days on this
Oh
flu.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's the combination, or is it the amount of acidity that you get, or is it like there's many chemicals and stuff, or is
You
it
think
just?
you're not sensitized to it, your body's very different and it's very quick functioning to be able to remove these things from the body. So of
Oh,
course it's going to shuttle through the lymphatics. You're going to start feeling these things get
yeah,
agitated,
yeah,
but just a hyper functioning immune system.
yeah,
People say you're weak, you're a weak immune system because this is affecting you.
yeah.
It's not. It's just not storing it all around the body for later use. It's just very efficient flushing in, flushing out
Okay. Yeah,
because it's toxin,
yeah.
And if you to make these potatoes, do you use salad cream? Are they like a salad cream or a
Yeah, yeah,
mayonnaise?
yeah. You
Yeah,
said mayonnaise, cream, and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
salad cream. Yeah.
And
So
seasonings. Yeah.
blending an avocado with a little squirt of honey and apple cider vinegar turns it into salad cream. Yeah, same.
Okay.
Salt, vinegar, honey, avocado. Just blend that up.
Okay.
Chop your little potatoes, steam them, boil them, however you do, and then
Okay.
just stir it into that, and you'll
Oh,
have
okay. Yeah.
you salad potatoes exactly the same, and you won't get sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean that it's a good sign that you feel it right away, because if you
Yes.
don't, because it's funny sometimes when you look at people who eat these crap, they still look pretty good, like in the face. They have like
Yeah.
good skin. They have no like bags under their eyes, and they feel pretty good, and still they eat like hemp pizzas and all this stuff,
Yeah. You have to see that the relationship between the biome in the body and like longevity is very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see the soil as the same as your digestive system, the soil has or should have like an absolutely incredible amount of bacteria that are completely synthesizing everything that you need, including B12 all the time. Yeah. B12 is only found in the soil or should only be found in the soil. Anytime something else is put into the soil or something that is not natural or a part of your current diet that's put into your digestive system, you don't necessarily have the right bacteria or fungi to break it down.
Yeah.
Fungus eats dead matter, so dead food or processed food needs a certain type of fungus to break it down. If you don't have that fungus because you're clean and clear, then the other things try to break it down. It's like, this is not good, this is bad. Start burping, farting, elimination, things like this. Over time, what you'll do is you'll create a different biome structure in the gut that can break down your friend's deep dish pizza in the microwave, things like this. But it's always robbing Peter to pay Paul, and over time you'll see them. So they're 30, 40, they might look okay. And as soon as they start hitting that number, it's like a real quick degrade from there.
Okay.
So you can encourage a new culture by introducing food slowly if it's going to be your long-term goal to maintain.
Yeah.
If it's not, then you go in every now and again. You're just getting hit on the head with the hammer, the hammer of judgment. Say, you know better.
Absolutely. Okay. After a little conversation with Josh there, I thought I'm gonna go through a little bit more about the other markers there. We didn't go through everything in that conversation, so but I also wanted to talk a little briefly about the iron there, because so we went through the red blood cells, and Josh explained why they are a little on the red side there. We had the blood fats, which meant about how much fat there is in the blood system, which is mostly pretty good. We went through this one. That's the HDL cholesterol there, and the reason why it's a little higher, which is a good thing, because we need to have the cholesterol in order to build our cells. Otherwise, I'm pretty good with this. I'm pretty satisfied because I know that when you're eating a lot of fruits, it will help cleaning out the body. It will help cleaning out the blood as well from toxins and from a lot of fats. Because if you think about it in this pretty simple way, is that because let's take some oil you have in your kitchen, maybe olive oil or just some rapeseed oil or whatever it is, sunflower oil. If you put it on your skin, it's going to be very sticky and very gooey, very very hard to get rid of. But if you take, like, say, sugar and you pour it into just a glass of water, it will dissolve right away. So you kind of have the explanation right away there, because what's happening when you eat a lot of fruits, because the sugar, the natural sugar, will just dissolve right away, because the body is mostly water. But the fat will not, it doesn't happen like that. So always be a little careful with a lot of how much fat we take in. One of the popular diets out there is 80-10-10, which means 80% carbohydrates, 10% protein, and 10% fat. That's a good measurement stick. Maybe you can increase it to 10 to 20% fat or something like that, but try to keep it in the milder range, in the lower range. The blood sugar went through, the reason why my insulin production is not very high as well. Infection or inflammation in the body is on the good side as well. You should have below 3. I have 0.17 there. I will also mention this. I don't know why you don't use it here, but there's another way you can measure the inflammation in the body as well. You can have a test that viewing the omega-6 to 3 ratio. I'm thinking I'm going to do another video about this, because this is one of the supplements I'm using. So most of the people out there have a lot more omega-6 in the body, which means it's pro-inflammatory. If you have omega-3, it's against inflammation. So it works working against the inflammation in the body, because every cell is made of these fatty acids. So that's why we need a good balance. So a good balance is, the optimal is 1-to-1 ratio between omega-6 and 3. But if you have, let's say, 1-to-3, 3 times the omega-6, that's a pretty good number as well. So if you do a test like that, you can see how much the cell membrane are inflamed in that regard as well. So that's a good thing that you can think about as well. The iron here was something that I was not really aware of. I've been looking around a little bit about foods to consume in order to get the iron up, and like Josh said, most of the meats that we eat, they are fortified, which means that they are injecting certain things like cobalt and stuff, so that they can produce a lot of the vitamins. Another good source of iron could be a lot of the, let's say, chickpeas. You have lentils, you have some sort of those kind of plants. They have a lot of iron. So there's a variety of foods you can eat. Eggs as well, you have it in there. I think I'm gonna maybe add some supplements to try to eat a little bit more of those kind of foods, just to increase my iron intake, because I think it's a little bit on the lower end here. I have 89, so 20 is the minimum. But as you can see, 375, I should at least be up to 300 maybe. So I think I'm gonna try to correct that a little bit moving on. It's also gonna be interesting to see if my diet maybe can help changing that values. Otherwise, I mean, it's all green on the iron status, so it's nothing bad. The doctors that leave the comment on my email was not concerned at all. He said it was very good, everything. We'll look at the vitamins here. This one is one I pointed out. This is the vitamin D, 94. I still think it's a little bit, also not that very high. A little surprised, to be honest. I thought I would have higher here, because when I did the test, I think we have had a few weeks of sun. I was in Athens as well in late March. But okay, it's just been a long time without sun, so I can understand that. So it's kind of interesting as well. I did a vitamin D test in December before I went to Mexico, and I had I was in the green side, but it was a lot lower. I think it was maybe down here. So I was kind of passing it like with a mild, with the slightest of margin. So I think it's a good thing if we can supplement the vitamin D, because most of other people that live in the northern regions, like even in Europe in winter, we don't get that much sun. So I think most people would benefit from actually supplementing vitamin D. That's something I'm going to do in this winter. So because I think this is on the lower end, I think we should at least try to reach up on the higher end here on the vitamin D. Because we have to understand what vitamin D is. It's actually a steroid hormone. It's not even a vitamin. They just named it that because it's more simpler, because it's kind of mixes in with the other vitamins. But it's a steroid hormone. So when the sun's rays touches our skin, the body produces this hormone, this steroid hormone. So we need to get the real vitamin D from the sun. So the supplement is not optimal at all. I mean, it can help a little bit, obviously, but it's synthesized. So you can get vitamin D from the food. from, I know mushrooms and stuff have vitamin D in it, but it's the best is obviously to get from the sun. I think that's pretty interesting. Otherwise, the magnesium one was okay as well. This one is phosphor, I think it is. Vitamin B9 is it? Sorry. That's that's pretty good. If it's above 7, it's good. So I got 26. Cobalamin was B12. Was still okay, but maybe not optimal. So try to increase that. I'm gonna start supplementing B12. Homocysteine is it's a building block for the amino acids, so which helps building the proteins, which is it's pretty good as well. I mean, I would say it's pretty, I'm pretty satisfied with that, so nothing to worry about at all. What else do we got? This is for the thyroid values here, which is nothing I'm gonna get into in depth, but those looks good. The testosterone we talked about. A lot of people on this kind of diet usually tend to have a lot of testosterone. So this was the one that I hit pretty high. This was the one I mentioned when I talked to Josh. I read that I think it was 8 to 30. That's usually kind of like the average, what average people tend to get when they are measuring the testosterone levels. And of course, when you're taking growth hormone steroids and these kind of stuff, usually at TRT you have a lot higher. A lot of the big guys who take a lot of steroids, they can maybe get to 700 milliliters of testosterone per production per week. So I mean, that's a totally different ballgame, but that's not even natural. So I mean, you're cheating yourself if you think that. The liver function was good. I'm not surprised. A lot of people out there, they seem to think that eating fruits will cause damage on the liver because of fatty liver, and that's couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, the natural fructose and glucose in fruits is converted to energy right away in the liver because it's stored in the liver. So, and like I said, it's so easily assimilated within the body. So that's why you notice that you get such increase in energy right away when you eat fruit, because like I said, the liver converts it to energy right away. So, and if you're eating more than what the liver can convert, it's as stored as glycogen in the body, which also helps building the muscle, because most of the muscle is actually water. So this has nothing to do with truth. It's ridiculous to even think about that. So never be careful about. I mean, the funny, because when I did a blood sugar test here, I ate a lot of dates all the time, and especially when I did the blood sugar here the same day and everything, I always eat a lot of dates. So it was very, very good. So the liver, I've also been doing a liver cleanse. I'm gonna make a video about that for almost 2 years now. So I've been releasing a lot of waste from the liver. Kidneys were also good. That's nice to see. They are doing its job. They are cleaning out. They are eliminating toxins and waste. So that's nice. And one of the things I saw was creatine. That was a little bit on the lower end. That's something that you don't get very much when you're eating a plant-based diet. That's why some people supplement it, but it's a very tiny little amount you need. I was still on the green side. I should maybe have spoken a little bit about that to Josh. I'm going to do it the next time. But usually you can get it from if you eating, like, let's see, tuna and some fish. They have a lot of creatine in it. A lot of people supplement. You can do it as well. You have a vegan supplementation on creatine as well. The salt in the body, chloride, phosphorus, calcium, calcium and potassium, natrium, that was good as well. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with everything here. There was some red markers, but I'm not perfect. There are always going to be some things we need to correct. But I think the most important ones were good, actually. I'm pretty satisfied with that. One of the interesting things I want to bring up as well is when I was practicing simmer intention, they always said that if you release multiple times, let's say a week, you will be deficient in potassium and calcium. And the funny thing, when I did the test, I actually had a little period where I've been experimenting. So I've been kind of releasing a few times, and my calcium levels was actually very good. Like you can see, it's on the good end. So I was a little surprised, almost, to be honest. But maybe it can be that you have a problem if you keep continue doing it over a very long time. That a lot of guys do. So always be careful about that. But overall, like I always recommend people to do the blood work to make a test to see where they are, like to get it in black and white to see where you are, like where you're heading, how good your values are, so that you can make a change and correct where you're going. So not everything you can see through the blood, so we always have to be clear about that. But it's always going to be a good indication, like how your organs are functioning as well, and your overall health. So I think it's still a very good thing that we can do it, because you can read out a lot of information through the blood. So I think that's a very good thing we have in our hands. So it's nothing we should neglect at all. So take that into consideration. I paid my test for about, let's say, 200 euros, I think. Yeah, 200 euros I paid. Then I got a lot of tests done, so that was nice. If you don't want to do the full spectrum, you can pinpoint whatever you want to do. If you want to see the vitamin D levels, the B12, the testosterone, or I don't know, iron, calcium, whatever it is, you can do that as well. But I think it's good to have a good big test from the whole body, so that we can get a clear understanding of where we are. So I'm pretty good with this. I got what I wanted out of this. I hope you got something out of value of this video. It was one of my longer videos, and I think I got everything I want to have said about this. And I'm also glad we can talk a little bit about this with Josh as well, who have been experiencing a lot of people with different deficiencies. He's seen tremendous increase of health where people have started to supplement, actually, and when they have, let's say, increased the vitamin B12 levels up to a different level, how much of an effect it has had on a lot of people's health. So it's always nice where you can take help from other people who have more experience. They have done it a longer time, so that we can get a better grip on everything. So that's also very nice. It was a long time since I made a video now. I've been very busy. Finally, in the couple of weeks now, I'm going to have more time over to YouTube, but it's been a little hectic period. So, but that's life. So, anyhow, I want to wish you a fantastic week. Take care now, and share it to someone you know might need to see this. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. So for now, talk soon. Take care, guys. Bye.